All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the TimingResearch.com crowd forecast news for January 20th, 2026. This is a special Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time episode, episode number 511. My name is David Cosmeter. I'm the creator of TimingResearch.com, and you should be seeing my screen right now, but we'll uh, give our panelists a chance to share their screen too throughout the episode. So today's panel, um, one of the bad things about moving the show to 4 p.m., as what I did a few months ago, was that unfortunately Anka, that's not a good time for her. So
Mm.
she hasn't been able to join us in a while. So when I decided to move today's show to 7 p.m., I texted her right away and asked if she could join us, and she was able to. So Anka Metcalf of TradeOutLoud.com is here. And then also Harry Boxer of TheTechTrader.com. Great to have him back. And Jim, the option professor of OptionProfessor.com, is going to be our moderator for today. And for those of you who are at last week's episode, I started off the show showing my triangle pattern here that I had drawn, and I
Mhm.
haven't moved these lines since last week, and this is where we are now. So cues, it's very similar. So we can have our panelists talk about that today. So,
Yeah, just a slight gap down, you think?
Yeah, really.
so Jim, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Yeah, and if you want to put on the S&P E-mini future, because it seems like most people trade that, so we might as well talk about it through that light, through that lens. And we're going to start out with just a basic question of which everyone's thinking about is this a drop that is called a slight reversion to the mean, or is this the beginning of a more substantial correction? Ladies first, Anka, what are you thinking?
Okay, so this is so the dominant trend is still super strong. This is just a pullback, and I think this is a reaction. There were a lot of events that have happened through the long holiday weekend. I can only like think of about five or six, but anyways, and I think this is a brief reaction. We have the Greenland, we have the Greenland deal. Okay, maybe it's a deal. We have the Greenland situation. We had last week before we closed, we had federal Chair Powell under
Mhm.
investigation. We have the start of earnings season, like big earnings season. This week is the official kickstart of big, massive earnings season. Last week we just had a few companies, so we had a lot of turbulence into the market. We have Davos on deck, so we have so many things. We have FOMC next week, so and I'm thinking, and brainstorming right now. Like I said, there are like five or six things that are on deck right now and are impacting the market. And the reality is that the market has been sideways for some time now, at least for a couple of weeks. And even before that, we had a little bit of a pullback. So we are still into that consolidation mode. The fact that the market really didn't break out, it means that it really didn't have like a reason to do it. And
Mhm.
the market is extended, it's exhausted. And I think it's time for the pullback. Now, whether we are going to get a continuation we're not. That would be decided. We had pretty good earnings on Netflix tonight, which kickstarts the tech earning season, but no reaction in the NASDAQ so far. We'll see tomorrow. And I think everything is in a limbo. And I think that everything will be under the Greenland type of deal and we can expect the market to pull back a little bit. So in the near future, like tomorrow or maybe going into the end of the week, I think that the playbook is going to be like pull back a little bit and then they're going to come out and say, hey, we're working on a deal. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be like buy the dip and we're going to see how that deal is because we may buy the dip, may be like a really let's say shallow retracement back to the upside and then if there is no deal the market is going to come back again and again. Let's not forget that today we had the Supreme Court that delayed the decision again on the tariffs for February 20th. So that weighed a lot on the market as well as we opened. So I think that overall the market is still going to go down, but very little. I
Yeah.
don't think that we're going to get like a major pullback. And when they're going to see that the market is going down, they're going to come out and say towards the, and I have like a timeline. So I think this is going to happen towards the end of the week, like on a Friday, perhaps. And they're going to say, we're working on a deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
To
that's
kind of
when
take that off the
Davos,
table. Yeah.
yeah,
Can you share your chart and maybe give us a couple of
of course.
indicators that might, because I have some really significant support around 67.75.
Yes. Yes.
And I was
I
wondering, do you
agree.
have anything around there that would make
That
sense?
Yes, this is what I have. So I have this swing from swing high to swing low right here.
Okay.
And I do have, and this is the SPY. If you want, I could put the SPX here. Okay, so yeah, so basically we still have support here. So this is a gap down. This is somewhat of a support zone, but it's like in a wiggly pattern. We have, pretty red bar here. So this is a pretty bearish bar. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, if we don't hold overnight and if we don't bounce overnight,
Mm-hmm.
and by the way, today's intraday activity didn't really point out into a massive pop-up. Like it tried to go a little bit higher, but then it stumbled and it came back down. So this is a pretty bear candle. Usually 90% of the time when we close like this, we get a continuation lower. And the next support that I have is 67.20 area, and we have the pivot low from December 17th right here. However, we still have this minor support zone right here
Yeah.
from this peak high, and this is from October, beginning of October. So it's still not, like a big tradable void where the price action can start like really, kind of like uh massively pushing lower.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like 60 a lot in the SPX, maybe 66.75 area, something
Yeah,
like that would be like a scare them out and then turn it back from there. Because that VIX is, you watch the VIX, I'm sure, and you
I
can see
do.
it's starting to explode a little bit. So we gotta
Exactly.
put some water on that thing, or else it's going to turn into something much bigger, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I think that the VIX may be getting ready, going into the end of the week to even tackle let's say, even the 25 area.
Yeah.
These are levels that were very significant based on which everything calmed down and it went back to the power trend into the markets.
Yeah.
First one is December 2024 when we peaked over here. Then we had the March 2025 of last year. And then last two were in October and November of last year. So very, very recent over here.
Yeah.
But we are still sitting on support here. So a lot of support. We bounced. My fear is that we are trading above the 200 SMA and every
Yeah, is that around
single
19? My feeling is if it gets back under 19 and starts trading under 19, that would be a signal that the rain stopped.
yes, I actually have an alert at 17.
Yeah. I
So
mean, if it
yeah.
gets under there, then they're calling the dogs off, right?
Yes, yes, I agree. We have been here like into this 19 area before September 2nd. And we came back down. It was not that significant, but here, like the difference is that here we closed twice above the 200 SMA. So we have these two candles right here that closed above the 200 SMA. And I've noticed that the VIX is very sensitive to this 200 SMA. Like here, it closed still below the 200 SMA and it went back here. It didn't really tackle or close above the 200 SMA and the price action got rejected. Here is it a little bit tricky. That's why I think that the market could potentially start moving lower into the end of the week. And
Yeah.
if we get a little bit higher, this would be the area where we would definitely have to pay a lot of attention.
Yeah. And of course, you could get a good buying opportunity down there.
Yes.
This is a market of stocks, and Harry Boxer specializes in stock selections. So why
Hmm.
don't Harry, you want to put up your screen and give us an idea of not only generally what you think of the stock market, but what specific stocks seem to be sticking out for you?
I can do that, but I want to address what Annika was saying and what you
Sure.
guys were, because quite frankly, I'm an exact opposite thought process right now. Exact opposite. Why am I not getting this here? Like, I went to share the screen and nothing happened. Just a minute.
Oh no, I got it up here. It's got the
Yeah,
VIX up here.
yeah, I see
Uh,
it too.
okay, but for some reason I'm seeing something else. Okay,
Okay.
so you see the VIX. Let me tell you something right now, folks. Um, I'm 79 years old. I've been doing this for 65 years since I'm a kid. And I can tell you that the VIX is not an index that you can chart like a stock. It is an overbought, oversold kind of uh, index that shows volatility, meaning extremes of apathy and fear. It's a fear index for the most part.
Hmm.
So when you see this spiking up like it did today, and by the way, we traded UVIX today very successfully from about 6:15 up to around 7. But and I'm going to trade it again tomorrow because I'm a big believer that today's action is just the beginning of a much bigger slide. I told my people in October when I looked at the time frame, the long move we've had, that January 8th to 12th was my time frame for an important market top. If you take a look at the actual top that we hit when we hit 60, was it 68.93 or something like that? It was on January 12th. It was like last week. Now, it didn't go plunging; it just drifted lower. And today is when we took the hit. But
Hmm.
I'm going to tell you that this market is has been telling me for a while with negative divergences and with lack of confirmation and with
Hmm.
a very what I would call thin market, meaning only 55-60% of stocks were above their 40-day moving average, and it was indicating to me a market and with poor leadership. Number one, obviously there was rotation out of the big boys, and they've been going down for a long time. I want to show you something. Check out Apple stock. This is a left shoulder, head right shoulder with a neckline. I told my people if it breaks 268, we're going to short it down to 245. Boom.
Hmm.
Today's low, 243. Uh, and it's probably oversold enough to, with 5 waves down in Elliott wave analysis, you have 1, 2, you have 3, 4, and 5. So we may get a bounce in here. My thought is the bounce is going to be fairly weak and on lower volume. And if
Hmm.
that's the case, we're going to start to see lower levels even on Apple. If you look at Amazon, for example, I'm going to go through the Mag 7s.
Yeah, they're not doing well.
A double left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and it's right on the trend line.
Hmm.
Amazon breaks any further, it's going to come down to the massive neckline that's taken 6 months to develop. And if you ever break 214.15 on Amazon, you're coming down to 180.85, and the whole market is going to hell in a handbasket. Look at Netflix; it's a disaster. This stock has been going. There was a massive top. It broke with a breakaway gap in October, rallied right back to resistance, and then fell apart. And then I told my people last week, Netflix has a falling flag and is going to go test 83. Today, after hours, they had what Annika said was good earnings. I don't think anybody cares if they were good or bad. They wanted to sell the stock on the news. That was the reason why I think it went down. Here's after hours. Check this out. Plunge, bear coil. If this thing goes lower, you're going to see, and it's right on support. Netflix could plunge into the 60s and 70s. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm only saying that the setup is there for Amazon, Netflix, even Meta, which is terrible. Take a look at this. Meta had a topping pattern, broke down with a big breakaway gap, rallied right to resistance, and rolled over. Meta could see 500 pretty quickly. And the last one in that group is, believe it or not, is NVIDIA. Why do I say that? Because it's got the same pattern as Amazon, a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. And today it broke a platform of support right here with a breakaway gap. If NVIDIA gets below 170, it's going to plunge to 155.60. I just think the market is set up for slam dunk. And I'm not saying a crash, but I think that people who bought the dip in 2000 and bought the dip last year are continue to buy the dip are going to get their butts handed to them, in my opinion. Now, I'm not really turning bearish on you. I'm just telling you the setup is there for a nasty slide. My
Very nice.
numbers,
It's like,
my,
what about
my
Microsoft? Microsoft looked like it was falling apart pretty good.
yeah,
MSFT?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I missed it. That was my fourth one on the list. Same thing, double top, 4 months apart. breakdown bear flag, breakdown large bear coil, and another breakdown.
Yeah.
Looks like it's headed for 425. It may be headed for 400. But the bottom line is when you have 4 of the Mag 7 stocks look like that, it's ugly. Actually, 5. Google is about the only stock on that board right now that looks fantastic.
It
Okay.
does. Yeah.
But at the same time, when that breaks, the whole market's going to go with it because
Yeah. Yeah.
usually at the very tail end, the very bull phase, the strongest stocks are the ones that roll over.
Yeah. Well,
I had a key level at 68.24 that was broken on the close today.
mhm.
Believe it or not, I got the same number every 100 points down. 67.20, 66.20, and 65.20. Those are 3 levels to watch on your charts because if any or all of those are broken, we are in big trouble market-wise. Now, the market is so overdue for an intermediate decline. And all that fundamental story that's out now is the excuse they're going to have for why the market's going to go down. But the truth is, if you're an Elliott Wave analyst like my buddy Avi Gilbert, or you're just a technical analyst like myself, or somebody like Tom DeMark, or any of these people who follow charts and technical indicators and ignore the fundamentals because the fundamentals are creating this. And you know the bottom line is, I think we're headed lower, and it's just a question of how far and how fast.
Now, Avi, your buddy was thinking about a rally, but then he thinks the rally might be over now, and we're into this first wave to the downside, possibly.
That's correct, but he's not. Look, they're obviously a good guy, but he's very much more macro oriented. He's not near term focused as I am, or
I got you.
some of the other people that work for him,
Right.
that are really good. But Avi was looking for one more leg up, possibly to 71, 40, 50 or something like that. And
Right.
I don't discount that if we can hold overnight. Right now, the futures are not really down. They're like
No, it's stable. Yeah.
Actually, they're up 2 on the NDX and up 6 on the
Yeah.
S&P. So we could very well hold it right here and rally and blow out the shorts. We can do that too. But the setup is there on Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Netflix, and even the possibilities for Nvidia joining and Amazon joining the fray on the downside. So if all the Mag 7 stocks are falling apart, I don't see how the market, no matter what the leadership is they're going to stay afloat. That's my take. Now I have a list of boxes shorts that look brutal, 30 of them.
You want to throw a couple up there just as a taste?
Yep, of course. Well, here's a new one I just put out called EXTR, but it's a little cheapy, meaning this stock is, I put it out after the head and shoulder formed. See the head and shoulder?
Yeah.
Breakdown, and then when it rallied back to the neckline and moving average, I put a short out right there at about 18. Today it dropped from 1584 to 14, close to 15. But the bottom line is there's so many stocks that look like this. Here's a couple more. Garmin, after a long uptrend, broke down and has a bear flag in here. And today it rolled over 10 points or 5% and broke this trend line and broke the whole pattern. This could really roll over on you. I wouldn't be surprised to see 175 short term. A couple more. If you look at LOGI, that's Logitech, the people who make the keyboards and
Keyboards, right?
Right. Head and shoulder top breakdown, and this hasn't even rallied. And today it gapped down and lost another 4%. And although some of these look oversold, that's one of the reasons why Anka and I am not bearish because we've come down so quickly on some of these that they probably will bounce back. But what I'm looking at is if we get a rally back on any of these in this list, for example, PSTG is another. This one rallied back to resistance and it's rolling over. ULS is another one that's about to break down. AXON, this is the former Taser, massive top formation. Look at the long-term uptrend. Finally broke, and this is what we call the kiss back. And if it fails here and rolls over, this could drop 150 points. I'm not kidding. So there's so many stocks out there. Here's one of my favorites, Root, which I put out as a short up here at 99, and it dropped to 68 in about a month and a half. It looks to me like there could be, a high 50s, even lower than that. There's a big gap down here that could be filled right down here. That could break this down from 68 to 45. So
a lot of the insurers seem to have been on the defensive lately, huh? One of you got up there that I'd love to talk about is ARM, because is it possible that's getting a little bit sold out, or a lot more to go, or what do you think?
Yeah, it is because of two things. Number one, it's near a level that saw a bottom here, and then a bottom of the right hand extension here. So maybe somewhere around 98, if it
Yeah.
gets there, would be a good place for a snapback to 115.20. But even then, and the other thing is, Jim, the Elliott wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down. The fifth wave doesn't look completed. That's why I say a little lower towards 97, 98, under
Yeah.
100 anyway. Yeah. And then for looking for a snapback, you're going to have some big problems across this zone right there. And there's a declining moving average as well there. So maybe you can get up to 122.25 from 98. That would be a nice trade. But again, I don't like picking bottoms. But
No.
I can show you a list of 100 stocks that are still in phenomenal bullish uptrends. And no matter what the market, even today, we had some fantastic winners today. To give you an example, HCRS. Check this out on a 1 minute chart. It broke out, it pulled back, and when it took off, we bought it right there at about 33.40. It went up to almost 5. But the winner of the day was where is it? CRVS. Check this out. And they had a positive drug news. It popped and pulled back and formed what I would consider a bull wedge or a little bull right there. You see it? When it broke out, we went long at about 13 today. It was up to 21.5, 22 about 4 or 5 hours later. So this is how we trade intraday, and why I love 1 minute charts and intraday trading, because the market was falling apart. This thing was going vertical, and it never broke the trend line right there. So,
and it had good news in the morning, which got it out of the gate, and then once it got out of the gate, you just followed the trend all the way up.
Totally. And here's a gold stock for you. You check this out, Jim. When it broke
I'm
out of
not
this
familiar with this one.
when this broke, you're not?
Never heard of the company before, no. And I know most of them.
Highcroft Mining is one of the better Canadian gold miners.
Okay.
And look at this beautiful base. When it broke out right there at 5 3/4 is where I put my swing on. Within 6 weeks, it was 45 vertically. Yeah. And today it went up. It went up 11 today. Today I told them to sell it today. I just said stock's too far too fast. The moving average, the 50-day moving average is at 18. The stock's at 45, a tad above the moving average, a little extended. So, when a stock is 5 and it goes to 45, I'm a seller. Period.
Yeah. Oh, it's so parabolic. But there is a little squeeze going on with those ETFs, don't you think, with regards to gold and silver? Because the SLV and the GLD, they have to buy physical gold and silver to back it. And about $8 billion flowed into GLD in the last 90 days, about $1 billion into silver or more. And that's a lot of money going into those markets. And these guys have got to scramble to get physical metal because they have to be backed by physical metal. So like in silver, once the silver seller hears that there's $1 billion going into the to the ETF, and these guys have to buy it at any price they have to because they have to hold the silver. These sellers are just squeezing the heck out of them, I think. Don't you think?
Take a look at this chart. AGQ is my favorite silver ETF. I've been following it for 2-3 years. This stock, as recently as August, was trading at 50, and it went up to 275. And today alone, it was up 31 points.
And do they have to have silver backing it with the associated persons buying it and all that?
Yeah. Any of these funds are the same way. And the other one is SLV.
Yeah.
And it's going bonkers. It went from 31 to 86, but the reason why I like AGQ, it's more leveraged. I mean, look at this thing. It's gone up 400% in 6-7 months. Yeah. And it's a gold. You would think it would be a high-tech stock or a software stock or something, but it's silver. And to me, I'm blown away because I remember when I was a younger guy and I was actively trading silver at $4 or $5 an ounce.
Yeah, all day long.
And it's 95.
Right, so, it's unbelievable. But I mean, it's just like it is what it is. Anka, I'd like to have you jump in and show us some stocks that you might be looking at. United Airlines came out with earnings after the bell, and that seems like it's back on the bicycle a little bit. You want to throw your charts up so we can see some of the stuff you're looking at? Yeah. The interesting thing about you two guys is you have trading rooms, but it's totally different trading rooms. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Anka's and yours, they're not exactly doing the same thing. So it's good for the listener here to have two alternative type of trading rooms to look at. You know what I mean?
Okay, hold on a second because I lost.
I got your screen up here.
Okay, you have
UAL
my
chart.
screen?
Oh,
Okay,
yep.
because I can't see it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. All right. You were talking about United Airlines?
Well, I saw it had a dip down to like your moving average, so it obviously had the reversion to the mean, and then they had good earnings. They had the most revenue in the history of the company, and so it's up a little bit in the aftermarket. And I just was wondering if there's a opportunity for new highs or anything like that.
Um, there might be the way I'm looking at it, it actually gapped down. It didn't gap down. It just came back to a minor support zone
Uh-huh.
from this prior pivot high.
Yeah.
It does have a lot of consolidation here into the high since last year. So it has been like 2 months where it really couldn't take out this high just yet. Definitely power trending, higher lows, higher highs. So it has everything for a breakout. But I still, if I would do a breakout, I would like to see it over these highs.
Oh yeah.
First of all, the weekly just revisited. We could see a more compact look into the weekly. We could see the 10 EMA residing into these prior highs right here. So it could potentially go. I am not a big fan of
Of here.
trading yeah,
Yeah.
biotech,
Yeah.
airlines, hotels. Like
Yeah.
I try to stay away from these kind of stocks. But yeah, definitely, we have to watch and see how it trades tomorrow. But it could have like a little cluster breakout here. Again, the risk is going to be a little bit high, so the hold time can be a little bit longer because of the risk involved. So the entry could be over these highs, the support and the stop could be below the low of the base here. Um, that's the only way where if I was to trade UAL, that's how I would treat it. That's how I would trade it, like as a breakout. Like I
That's
said, not a big fan.
no, no. What about looking for something that might be a big opportunity, like the quantum stocks that had big run-ups and then big corrections, like Rigetti or IONQ or something like D-Wave, QBTS? These seem to like, you know what I'm saying? It had huge runs, right? And it comes all the way down here. Is the correction over? And is it realistic to think it's going to go up and at least go 60% back up or something like that?
I have to say, like, I have traded a few times Ion Q, and I one time was extremely successful, and the next few times I got stopped out of it.
I got you.
So this was the first time when I tried it. I got into this breakout. I don't know whether it was luck because it went like that. I
Yeah.
trailed out of it, like somewhere in the 70s. And then I didn't take this, but then I was stalking to see if I have any breakouts off of these levels. And
Yeah.
I remember like I got this area right here as the breakout, and it really didn't work out that well. I had a tighter stop. So like I said, I have been in and out like probably a couple of, I would say like 3 to 4 times in INQ. And like I said, I made some money on it overall last year, but not a whole bunch because I got stopped a few times out of it. And
Yeah, you
not
sometimes if you don't have success with something, it's hard to get back into it a little bit.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. But the way I look at it, it really needs to consolidate a little bit more and it needs to break out. Like if you're in it for long term for the investor side, you can buy it anywhere.
Yeah.
And just, calculate your risk tolerance and, kind of like look at higher time frame patterns like monthly and quarterly and just go with it. What I
Maybe you
do
need
like though,
maybe you need to have one with an Italian name like Rigetti, RGTI.
yeah.
Maybe
But
something with a little IONQ doesn't really move you, but maybe because RGTI looks fantastic to me.
okay, so RTT, so from the monthly standpoint, I've analyzed, like usually what I do at the end of the year, I analyze quarterly charts, I analyze yearly charts, monthly charts to see what's going to be in play as continuation or rotation from the prior month or the prior period of time. And this one is very similar to INQ because it's still above the 10 EMA and it's still like this to me looks like selling here. It is stabilized because of the minor support deal on it. But I like the price point. Not a lot of stocks into the $25 range. I usually love to trade like these tech stocks. So not necessarily. So they're actually they're at pricey, right?
Yeah.
But this one, like these bases that have not moved like for months here, I don't know. It does look very good as a breakout. Love the price point in it. Like 25 bucks is such a steal. I actually created a scanner a long time ago. It's called baby stocks. Like part of the scanner is called baby stocks where I have stocks that are up to like I think like 20 bucks or 25 bucks or something like that, and I occasionally look through it. I only look to see if we have like massive volume, because if it doesn't have like at least 1.5 million shares on a day, I don't even look at it. So I don't care. I don't care.
No,
Could
I
have
agree
like,
with you. You have to at least do a million or more, definitely.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm very picky, very selective in terms of what I trade and what I invest my money into. So this one looks like a breakout, much better, I have to agree, than INQ. So this could be a base breakout here, but it hasn't gone up this 50 SMA in quite some time, and there's a lot of indecision here. So January, so we popped a little bit here into December and beginning of January, first day, excuse me, of January, but then we didn't really break out. So maybe this is going to, let's see, it has earnings. So lots of time to pop up. Uh, I mean, yeah, earnings being here, it could potentially start breaking out. Now, these ones could potentially have a bigger squeeze with, let's say, targets into the $30, maybe 34, 35, and then it could squeeze to 45 or so. I mean, it's worth keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, no doubt. Some of these rare earth stocks like USAR and US antimony, they seem to also be moving quite a bit, like they look like they could go.
They look like they could go, yes. And I was just reading, just very briefly, something that you just acquired something. I just forgot what it was. So yeah, nuclear energy stocks could potentially move. Rare earth stocks could potentially move. This one, again, it has been residing in this area for some time. It had like, just like INQ, it had like a pop up and then back down and a whole lot of nothing in the meantime.
Yeah, that's when you
Yeah.
don't know if it's going to go or not. This
I
other one
mean,
I'm looking at in the same thing, UAMY. They're both kind of in the same rare earth type stuff, and UAMY.
Jim, there's a third one, critical metals, CRML.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah.
yes, you see
But
our amount, yeah.
this looks like party of three that could start heating up a little bit. They got a gap
Yeah,
there to
this
fill
one could
too.
start moving. This one could start moving a little bit more conviction today into buying. But the thing is that you don't know a lot
Yeah.
about these stocks, if they're going to move or not. And these are sleepers. Like I call them sleepers because you could get in this and you could stay in it,
Yeah.
lock your money for weeks and weeks and weeks until you get bored. Because they don't literally do anything. They don't
Yeah,
really,
no, this is not the day trade. This is more like as an option guy, and when the options are going for a buck or two, and they could go up to 10, that kind of thing.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you got to move.
Yeah, I don't do options. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, that's why some of these are interesting to me because the options are cheap, and I specialize in low priced
Right.
options. Yeah. But let's talk about stuff that you're looking at. Which stocks are on your radar that you're kind of keen on
Okay,
right now?
so I
Yeah.
have FCell on my list. This one as well, you know, you could see like really good price point. I mean,
Hmm.
stock at $8. And this one may wake up a little bit. I'm seeing like huge potential, huge volume coming in here, which means that the downtrend may have kind of ended. We're seeing a potential move above these moving averages. So it just needs like a little bit more into the $10 area. But if it gets into the $10 area, I think it could really start squeezing hard. So FCell is on my list. I'm not in it. Another stock is the APPS that I have like as pop-ups from today, strong watches. Again, you can see a really great reaction in today's trading. We still have, now this one is not really a favorite because it has earnings, just around a corner in less than 2 weeks. But I don't know if it still has, time to progress. I don't hold through, I usually don't hold through earnings a lot of stocks, not unless they have a very compelling unless it's a very compelling name.
Yeah.
And I
Now
have
these are all in
reasons to
nuclear
hold.
type stuff.
I'm sorry, what?
Are these nuclear? Some of them?
This is digital. I don't even know, to be honest.
Yeah. Because there
I
was
think it may
one that
be.
hit my radar called Lightbridge, LTBR, and they have some kind of a thing where they're doing something with it, and it started to look good. Now it's stalled out. What do you see it as, a stalled engine or a pause to refresh, or what are you
This
thinking?
one, yeah, this one, see, they all have a very similar pattern. So they have the pop up in September, they have the strong pullback in fall, towards the end of fall, and then a whole lot of nothing here. So it's kind of like, kind of grindy. It's not a stock that I would get into this one again.
Yeah. The overall market's a rough racket, though, so it's not totally shocking that everything's in the stall mode, right?
Yes, I know, and I have to agree. Like not a lot of stocks that are really moving lately.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sitting on a lot
I
of
gotta I
cash.
have to disagree. I have to disagree.
Well, no, and some of those biotechs you were showing, there's no doubt,
Not
and
even about
your scanning over there, Harry, does seem to unearth some of these big movers.
press out Sky T.
What was that?
What's the symbol?
SKYT. Skywater Technologies. It's semiconductor. Check out that chart.
Okay. Yeah, it's moving higher, but it's kind of like, I don't know.
When it broke out of that little head and shoulder pattern, it looked like a head and shoulder, but
Yeah.
it turned out to be a bull wedge. When that one bar, that big bar, broke out there about 3 weeks ago, we went long in the low 20s, and we sold it today at 35.
Yeah, like this one here.
Yep. No, the one next to it. No, not that bar. No, the big bar.
This one.
Yeah. We saw that breakout above out of that pattern. Usually, when the head and shoulder sets up and it doesn't break the neckline, it breaks the shoulder line. That means to me that it isn't a head and shoulders. It's more of a wedge or a
Yeah.
consolidation
I
coil,
agree,
right?
but from my standpoint, like to me, it's not worth the risk because the reward is really not there. Like I would put my stop around the 200 SMA just to be sure, and you would be like maybe less than 1 R or 1 R into this area where it's trading today.
Yeah. Well, no, we got out today because the stock went from 21 to 35 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. So what is the volume on this? Because this platform doesn't really tell me.
It looks like about 2 to 3 million shares a day, right?
3 to 5 a day. Yeah.
3 to 5.
That's good volume then. Yeah.
That's what I was saying. That's the first thing I thought is these are good looking stocks, but how much shares are they trading? But when they move like this, I'm sure every short term trader in the world's kind of getting in there.
Yeah, my focus is different. So I'm into a lot of blue chip stocks. I'm not really into these kind of stocks.
Yeah. Well, show us a
I'm
couple
more
of
like
other ones you
Apple,
think might. I
Amazon,
mean, what
Tesla,
are you thinking about
Google.
like tomorrow with Johnson and Johnson? They got earnings coming out. Anything cooking with the J&J?
I
Right.
usually J&J very strong, very very strong. We actually have an active investment position into Johnson and Johnson. This is the area where we got in into the 165, so we're already in, and this is one of the cases where we live through earnings into these active investment trades, but it could potentially go higher. This is kind of like one of those slow, boring stocks that gets your portfolio super fat and juicy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm still in it. So I have been holding it for, quite some time, and I'm going to hold through earnings. This is one of the cases. I don't hold a lot of stocks through earnings, but some of them active investment stocks I do hold. A lot of the swings I may, sell half into earnings or sell completely. If I'm over 3-4 hours in the trade, then I would sell. But other than that, like in this case, I would hold.
Are you doing anything with the energy sector? Is that pretty good runs?
Yeah, we are in XOM, and I was thinking about adding into XOM and SLB, XOM, like all these stocks. But I still, kind of like I didn't pull the trigger. I think it's really way too close to earnings, and I'm just gonna let it trade. I'm still in the money, so I'm just gonna ride it. So I'm still in XOM. So we have a position there, and we have
How about a couple that haven't moved yet? Because yeah, you got SLB, big winner,
yeah, we
big
have
winner.
SLB
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
as a
So I was
trade.
wondering out loud, do you see any potential in the ones that haven't moved as much, like FANG, FANG, or maybe
Mhm.
something like Devon Energy, DVN, something like that?
Well,
This
look at
is a
APA,
sleeper. Yeah,
Jim.
Yep.
APA is in the,
Yeah, I saw APA. That's another one that it can't
we
get out of
are
its
in
own way, but it's
APA.
inexpensive. Yeah,
I know we are in APA, and it's kind of exactly what I was telling you guys about. It's like a sleeper. Like
yeah,
we have been in it since I think it was early October since we got in. We
yeah.
got in somewhere here. And it's really not moving. Really not moving.
Now the two majors, Chevron and Exxon, and then of course the people who support them, Halliburton and Schlumberger.
Yes.
That's where the money's been made.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't
HAL
own
has
CVX.
HAL has earnings coming out this week, and I'm sure they must be making some money.
it's a good
Yeah,
chart.
CVX.
I like Hell even better.
Hmm.
You can see why it's got momentum, broke out of a base, breakaway gap, rising channel. It's holding above the moving averages. It's trending in an angle that's even steeper than Schlumberger. So to me, it's got high 30s to low to mid 40s target for me.
It does look higher, and it could squeeze. It has the 200 SMA here onto the monthly. I analyzed all these stocks this weekend. So I'm just gonna wait for earnings and then possibly, decide on whether I usually don't. So once a company reports earnings, I typically wait 2 to 3 days and, see if there is a pattern that is emerging from that earnings, or I just wait until the water's clear, but I don't jump in before earnings. And I don't do options. So that's the reason why.
Yeah. There's a couple of metal stocks that come up with earnings this week. Freeport-McMoRan for copper, FCX,
FCX,
and
yeah.
Alcoa Aluminum. They've both been big winners as well.
I have been in Alcoa for a really long time. So FCX is great. Um, we have been in copper futures, and we wrote copper futures like bandits, and gold as well, and silver. And AA, we have been into it since $25. So really
Yeah, I mean
great gainer.
that really was an obvious one to me because of the fact that
Yeah,
the other metals had been doing so well. Why wouldn't aluminum be doing? Because it's obviously a building material as
right.
well, right?
Right. So we
So
have an active investment in AA. So yeah,
was
we
it?
are not even thinking about management. So we're just just yet.
Yeah.
We have
The
been like super power trend in November, since starting November, super power trend.
Hey, Jim, look at CENX, Century Aluminum. Powerful pattern. All-time highs.
What was that,
CE
CN?
Charlie Edward Nancy X-ray
Yep.
CENX.
Powerful
Okay,
move. It's extended.
beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
And
Just
and
like
by the way,
Alcoa, but better than Alcoa, I have to say.
and in the copper group, I got one better than FCX. ERO.
I thought you were going to tell me Southern Copper, SCC.
Oh yeah, I mean, but that's $150 stock. I
Yeah.
like to trade something with a better leverage. You can buy 5 times as many shares of this as you can as SCCO. For me, I'm a big believer in stocks between 5 and 50 because then you can buy 5, 10,000 shares and scale out 1,000, 2,000 at a time, and and it takes much easier for a stock to go from 5 to 50 than it is for 50 to 500.
That's why I always thought silver was a better deal than gold because obviously the
I agree.
percentage
I
move
agree.
is it can go.
And look at the move of that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. $10 to 30. You can't beat that with a stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any other ones that you think might be like what about some of these ones like that are out of favor like Datadog, DDOG?
Oh
I
my
mean that
gosh, I haven't looked. I
yeah.
haven't looked at this chart in forever.
Well, that's because you don't want to look at a scary movie.
Oh man, Jim, you don't want to catch a falling knife.
That's
Forget.
not,
Right.
that's a falling machete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's brutal. There's so many better charts. Why even bother?
All right,
Yeah.
here's one that I've been.
Exactly.
Here's one that might be work. How about Marvel? MRVL. I mean, it seems to me like it's in a place where it's either going to bust down or you're looking at a good value down here. I mean, it is a
Well,
company that has.
it is back on the trend line, and it's near price support. The underlying technicals are flattened out to create, and usually when you see a stock pull back in a three wave corrective decline to a moving average or a trend line like this is done, if the volume is quiet and the technicals are moving sideways, it's usually indicating to me that the selling is not major and that it may have maybe dissipated by this point. And yeah,
Mhm.
this thing could bounce. But like I said a few minutes ago, there's so many better charts. Let me show you mRNA. mRNA. Now
Oh yeah,
this is
Moderna. Yeah.
yeah, but take a look at the base it developed and the breakout it has. And here's the stock that came down from what 500? Yeah, over 500 down to 25, and then finally built a base that you can hang your hat on. I bought
Yep.
as soon as I saw the breakout over 34 and a half, we went long. We're already up about 7, 8 points.
This one could
I'm gonna
squeeze.
start calling him Dr. Boxer because he's got all these medical stuff. Yeah.
This one could squeeze. Yeah, this one could squeeze like 70s and even go back to like 100,
Oh yeah,
like easily.
and,
Very
and
nice. It's creating that rounded bottom. It's just getting ready to.
you want to see a fantastic momentum stock in biotech? Glue. Check out this chart, GLUE. Now, it came out of a base with a breakaway gap and formed a wedge. And when it broke the wedge back in September, we went long at 7.
Wow, this is an awesome one.
And it went vertical. And now it's forming a little another wedge, which I think could lead to 30.
This is gorgeous here, and it has this little tiny consolidation. So this is a sandwich. It could totally go over 24.70 or so.
Yep. And I'm looking for that to make a move to the channel top, which is around 30.
Yeah.
You know, I look at IBB and I now understand why Harry is swimming in the ocean called biotech.
Yeah, but you got to be careful because
No, but no, what I'm trying to say there's got to be a lot of good ideas in there because the IBB wouldn't be going up like that unless the sector was going crazy, right?
and look at the triple bull LABU. Check this out.
Oh,
LAB LABU.
yep.
And
Now
this
the
is where
problem.
mergers and acquisitions could happen because these other companies like Novo and Lilly and Merck, they need revenues, and the new drugs could be where the revenues are.
Right, but LABU is a biotech index. It's a triple bull.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Triple
But
bull. Anything and this stock, if you look at draw your lines across the tops and draw a parallel channel, and it tells me that if we break out above 185.88, we might see 100 points more.
Yep.
And that's why. And on the other hand, that could be a head and shoulder top forming, and you got to be careful. You have to stop at about 140, 145 actually.
Yep. Yep.
let's talk
145.
real quick on Bitcoin.
Oh, I got to
You
talk
think
about
this
this one.
thing's going to hold? Huh?
I really wanted to talk about this one because I've been telling everybody my target was 125. We hit 126, and when it started to break down, if we can go to my chart for a second, I want to show you this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let's switch over. And you think this one's going to go in the southbound lane, huh? Go down?
Yeah, I'm gonna share something to you. Can we share my chart?
Do you have to stop sharing, Anka?
Yeah,
And then he,
you should be
Okay.
able to now.
yeah.
No. Do you see it yet?
No, we're
No.
getting there though. Just click on share and you'll be there.
I did that already. Okay, let me try it again. Share. Where is it?
And click on the chart you want to do, right? And then
Looking for. Where the hell is it? I got three different screens up here. I think that's it.
Get a
Let
good
me know.
picture of Anka there.
Tell me if you
Oh,
see it.
now it's loading.
Is it
Yep, now
Bitcoin?
we're good.
Now I
Now we're
see it. Yeah.
good.
Okay.
BTC, USD. What do you got?
Right. Now, I want to point out to you on a long-term basis, we have a big up wave back in September through February. That's wave one. Wave two was a consolidation that took about 6 months to develop. Wave three was the run up into November, December double top. Wave four was the pullback, a three-wave corrective to the prior high. And wave five was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave affair. That's called the fifth of a fifth. If you know anything about Elliott wave, it's a sell signal. When it broke down here and snapped back to the neckline, I told everybody to short Bitcoin at 106, and I told them it's gone to 80. Look at the low. 80,
Now, is the
86.
80 going to hold up, or what do you think?
No. And then what do you see here? You know what I just drew in there? That's a massive bear wedge.
Okay.
It took 2 months to develop. In my opinion, it's breaking down. It broke down today. It dropped $3,400. That was
Yeah.
about almost 4%. If it doesn't rally back immediately and it starts to fall, this thing could easily test 80 again. But my target is between 71 and 75 just on this leg. And that
Yeah.
only makes the leg 1, 2, 3. If you get a 4 and a 5, we might see this come down into 60,000 or less. You know, I, Jim, I've talked to you a couple times about this. I'm an old school guy. I think Bitcoin is the biggest scam ever perpetrated on Wall Street. Okay, I am not kidding. At some point, I'm almost rooting for this to fall apart.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is it'll really hurt Wall Street.
Oh yeah, they put a lot of dough into it now. That's why
Yeah,
they think the winter where it's supposed to drop 80% and go down to 25,000 is not going
yeah.
to happen because of all the money they put into the ETFs and things like that, and the
And,
Clarity Bill and the
until,
Genius Act and all the
yeah,
rest of it.
until Jim, until everybody heads for the exits at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And again, the winter happened exactly on time. 18 months after they halved it was October of this year. They
Yep.
halved it in April of 24, and October was 18 months. On target, it topped. Now it's supposed to go down 80%, which would be maybe 25, 30 grand on this thing. No one can believe that could happen. And it will not happen if they take out 127, because that'll be negating the idea that that the top is in. But
Wouldn't
other than
shock me
that,
if
you're walking
it wouldn't
around every
shock.
day with Bitcoin with that risk.
Yeah, the first thing you got to do is take out the April lows, which is 74,000. If you do that, it'll head down to 54 very quickly, and then who knows where it goes after that. But I'm looking for a 5 wave decline, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe to 40 or 50,000, some 40, 45,000. We'll see. But 40,
Yeah.
45,000, if you get to 41 from 126, that's about 70, 75%, or two
I did
thirds.
very well with Galaxy recently, GLXY. Do you think
Right.
that is a bounce that's over, or do you think there's more to come? Because
I'm
I
looking.
thought
I'm
I thought
looking
it was, it goes from 45 down to 20. It gets my interest. You know what I mean?
right, but it's also about a 0.618 fib retracement, and now it's
Yeah,
pulling back
that's what
to
I'm saying.
test.
It looked like a bounce, and that's why I scaled out of it. So that was a good idea. Yeah.
It was a great idea, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I don't try. I'm sorry. No, I'm looking at IREN as another.
Well, I,
Now,
I had that one too, and I scaled out because that was a good bounce back too.
it certainly was, but
Yeah.
again, we're at a resistance level right here.
Oh yeah,
If,
no, it's
and
out.
and if
It's out right now.
if it
Yeah.
doesn't look at Bitcoin goes back, all of these stocks will go crazy again. Another one is Coinbase. CO. I like trading the Coinbase ETF CONL, but
Yeah.
look how bearish that is. One,
Yeah.
2, 3. I mean, it's at the lowest level we've seen since May. And it's from 70, it's down to 14 already. That's lost
Right.
about 80%.
Right. All right. We're coming to the top, so I want to give you guys time to, shall we say, explain to people how you're going to help them. So I'm going to start over with Anka, sorry.
Yep.
And Anka, could you, explain your trading room and all the stuff you do for people each and every day, and maybe take the screen back and show a couple of things?
Okay, we have, yeah, I kind of closed everything. So
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll see
Uh,
you. That's
I'll
enough. We see you.
okay.
I'll share your
Sorry. So we have two things that are yeah, thanks so much for sharing. Thanks David, I think is
Yeah, he got
sharing.
that going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the futures trading room, and it in the futures trading we day trade and swing trade. We caught like massive. This last year was actually our second most massive year because of gold. So we 10x our portfolios. Like this is on paper, so proof. With the swing in golds that we had last year, we just closed a position in gold. And we just closed a position in copper, and we just closed our swings in futures. And so that's what we do in the trading room. We day trade and we swing trade. We had a phenomenal year. We have been consecutively killing it every single year. We have our performance, which is on our website under our programs, and we had really phenomenal results. And we only run the trading room for 2 hours every single day. We trade the power hour. I specialize in trading the power hour, and we focus on basically the futures indices in the first 2 hours and commodities if there is anything to swing. So every single swing is called in the trading room. We also have a private feed where we offer additional information to our members that for example, if there is a setup right now in Bitcoin or what have you, or the Dow, they're gonna know about it and the parameters are communicated. But 99% of the time, all the trades are posted in the excuse me, in the room, and communicated in the room and explained in the room. We have another service. It's called a stock swing trader, where we swing trade stocks, and we actively so we hold swings for a small to medium term and active investments. And we're launching, hopefully we had to launch in January, but I was like literally sick with a respiratory virus for more than a month, and I had to delay everything. So we're going to launch our investing program along with our service sometime probably end of February of this year. So we're gonna have some events. Honestly, I haven't hosted any events in I think 2 months because I've been sick for over a month. But we're getting slowly there, and we're gonna have a 4-day event, I believe, that is coming up next month, the beginning of February. So that's all we have. And that 4-day event we're offering, we usually charge for that event, but it's going to be free. So it's going to be a really big comeback. Thank you guys. We made so much money last year. We're going to show you how we did it and what we have in store for this year.
That sounds great. And that's going to be around the beginning of February?
Yes, it's going to be communicated. Yeah. We still don't have a certain date. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Harry, you've got a great room over at your place. And again, you illustrated quite a number of stocks that would have been great to be involved in. So explain how people can get started with you.
Well, do you see my picture up?
I see.
Okay.
Yep.
So we have a website that is pretty much purely technical trading. We trade 1 and 5 minute charts intraday. We trade 15-minute and hourly charts and daily charts on a swing trade basis. I have an active room for day traders. I have a separate active room for swing traders, and obviously the subscription price is different. But it's a place where you can come and learn, because nobody's more active in Wall Street than me, I've been told. I come on at 3:45 a.m. LA time. I'm on for a couple, 3 hours doing my work, doing live webinars, pre-market, showing you the stocks trends on 1 minute chart basis, forming pre-market before the market even opens. And normally you'll get 2 or 3 or maybe half a dozen trades even pre-market. By the time the market opens, you may have added another 3 or 4 ideas for you, maybe more. But during the day, my webinar is open all day. You can see me playing with my charts and drawing my lines in support and resistance levels. But I also re-enter live with my voice, obviously, and talk about how these charts are developing, how the patterns are developing, which stocks may be stopped out, which stocks should be raising their targets and/or the stops. So come join me for free for a 10-day trial, no credit card, and see what we do every day. I think you'll be amazed. And some people are a little bit overwhelmed because it's a very, very active site with a lot of seasoned 10, 15, 20-year people in the room with me. Well, one gal's been in with me since I started in 2001, believe it or not. We have a lot of fun. We make a lot of money, and it's a place where I think if you like technical trading and you like a technical analyst that's done this for over 60 years, then come join me, and I think you'll enjoy what you see and make a lot of money. Even in the trial period, I've gotten emails from people that say I made enough money in my two-week free trial to pay for 2 years of your subscription. So come see what it's all about. And
Sure.
all you got to go to thetechtrader.com, click on join for free, and put your information in, and you're in. Simple as that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for being here. As far as Option Professor is concerned, we do have seminars every Tuesday. So if you'd like to learn more about option trading and how it might even be able to work with day trading as well as swing trading, it would be good to learn about it. And I've been doing these seminars on options for decades, so I know how to explain it to you. Okay, I want to thank both of you guys for being here. We're going to get together again, I'm sure. I think we went over an awful lot today, so I do hope people take advantage of getting in contact, Anka, not only with you, but with Harry, because both rooms offer some very special information, I think. So thanks a lot for being here, guys. We'll talk to you soon. And I'm going to send it back to David.
All right, yeah, thanks. Great discussion. So, just a reminder, uh, if you want to get the recording of this episode, you can just come to TimingResearch.com, and this post will become the archive for today as soon as I can get it processed. Also, if you search for Timing Research on YouTube, Substack, or your favorite podcast app, you'll be able to find them there. And I just want to thank my guests again for today. Harry Boxer of thetechtrader.com, Anka Metcalf of tradeoutloud.com, and Jim, Option Professor of optionprofessor.com. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, David. See you soon.